Yay Networks.
Welcome to a brand new episode of the Fitish podcast. I'm Jenna.
I'm Francisco.
Francisco's my other half.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Not the
my
better one.
sometimes my better, sometimes my
No.
worse.
I don't think so.
No, this is I was kind of thinking as we were waiting for you, the talent, to prepare for today. We've been sitting here. He's like,
Well, the thing is that the
getting
last
water,
minute
cleaning his
scheduling.
glasses. This is not last minute scheduling. You've known for days that you didn't send me any prep, but I digress.
Send it to you, babe.
You did?
Yeah, it's in the mail.
In the mail. Okay. No, I actually wasn't going to give you shit. I was going to say, as I was like sitting here watching you like clean your glasses off, do all these things, get your bottle of water, get ready. I was like, this is kind of like our respite from work and parenting and everything else going on.
It's like a little pause. It's like a little
It
recap.
is.
It's like a weekly recap.
It is. But also just like a little break from everything we have going on, even though it's always thrown in the middle of what we have going on. So thank you for everyone that listens to us talk nonsense about parenting and our struggles. I feel like as a check-in, we've had like a good few days, right?
Yeah.
I usually don't do inventory on a daily basis, but like I feel like the last few days have been pretty healthy and good.
Yeah, 100%.
Remy's been good.
Yeah. He's been an early riser, though. Bad.
I took one for the team for a bit this morning.
Thank you.
Yeah, I did it. I was like, I'll do it. And then after
You were waiting for me to say, no, don't worry. And I was like, okay.
I was like, I'll do it. I've been really tired lately, and I think I had brought that up on the show. I'm waiting for some other extra blood work to come back, but I learned something so interesting. That's just my excuse. And also, ladies, it is scientifically proven that women require more sleep than men because
You saw it in like a Facebook post.
Y'all are, look, let's be real. The men are the superior sex for whatever reason. This is what y'all have been.
Yeah,
now this is who you are.
At your convenience.
We are weak and we need more sleep.
Uh-huh.
No, it is scientifically proven. It is.
Your mom posted on Facebook.
Yes. Yeah. No, I've read about it. No, it is true, actually, that women do require, like, it's usually like an hour more than men to, like, function.
Yeah.
It's because y'all are stronger. Strong and mighty male. Get up earlier. Let me sleep. Let the weak woman sleep. Yeah, no, I did. I got up this morning. Well, I was actually like wide awake at 5. It's because you drugged me to a workout class yesterday. And anytime I start exercising again, I'm like a 1 week on, 3 weeks off. That's kind of the routine I've been in. So when I go and exercise, especially doing a boot camp, like a berries, and it's such an ass kicker of a class. And so I could like barely get through it. And I go to sleep really well, when I start working out again. I think that's something for those of you that are on the fence about an exercise regimen. That is like the best part about it is you will usually sleep better and then you wake up with a lot of energy. But I faded after about an hour because he's a maniac now. He is. For those of you that have toddlers, it's like, yeah, people prepare you like, just wait. And then you're like, yeah. And he's walking and curious. And now it's just like, and I'm sure we haven't even scratched the surface of like what it's going to be. But Fran came home from the mall the other day and he had blood on his shirt. And I was like, yes, an injury happened on the helicopter parents' watch, not on my watch. I was so excited actually, because I knew it was probably not a big deal. And you said that he was just running along outside in the middle of the mall, fell, scraped his knee, bloodied it up, but didn't even cry and kept on running.
He just kept on running. So he was running in that side of the grass outside.
Yeah.
And we were like briefly there because it was 150 degrees. And he went on running and he gets so excited and animated. Like he's and he went like, glop. And he just literally did this. I didn't even notice because he didn't cry.
That's my boy.
He kept on running.
This is what the fuck around and find out does for him.
And
he's tough.
He asked me to pick him up. I picked him up. I was wearing a white shirt.
Yeah.
And that's it. We went to do a couple other things. We went to eat. We went to the Place Street Museum.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I was looking at my shirt like, oh, there's blood.
Yeah.
So I started inspecting my boy. and his knees all scraped. Well, it was just a little scrape.
Inspecting your boy like you do every day. Oh, well, I felt awful. I was playing with him yesterday and took him. We love the Play Street Museum, and I think that's what we're going to do. A girlfriend. I mean, we're friend. I don't know. I can call her a girlfriend. It's someone that I know actually owns this franchise. And why are you? No, we're not scissor sisters. Why are you doing
I don't know.
that?
Girlfriend sounds weird. I don't
Like
know.
you're doing like a sexual
My
like
13,
lesbian.
my inner 13-year-old just came up. Okay.
No, but she's like she's a girlfriend. You know, I mean, you throw around that word loosely, like someone that I actually like. I really, really
It's a
like
friend
her.
and it's a girl. Like,
Yeah, you know, yeah,
we all have girlfriends.
yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh, stop being a weirdo. I really, really like her. It's just that we like don't know each other that well anymore because she had kids like years ago. Well, you get it. So we ran into each other yesterday because she owns the place and I go all the
So
time.
she used to be an ex-girlfriend. Now she's becoming a girlfriend.
No. We used to like run in the same circle and then we
Okay.
don't. It's kind of the deal. But anyway, she brought up the idea to me, which is so great about actually doing like our next kind of Fitish mom event there because our walk was such a success. We had so many people come. We had so many people who couldn't come that wanted to come. We had so many people that were planning on coming but had a typical morning meltdown with the child and they were upset or like tried to get in the car to go. You know, those things happen. And so, yeah. Anyway, I think we're going to like rent it out on a Saturday morning and do like a full event, food for the adults. How fun, right?
That's amazing.
We have a new definition of fun now as parents. But I was there yesterday, so her and I are talking about that. But before that, Remy's, typical maniac running around, stealing toys from kids. Great. And luckily there was a boy there a bit older than him who was kind of the same way Remy is, but being that way to Remy. And I was like, he deserves a little bit of it, I'm like, yeah, take his toy. Take it. You know what I mean? Like, I want him to learn.
So
like,
sad I wasn't
I
there.
want him to learn the way of the world, And it's just a constant, like, apologizing back and forth with parents. Like, Remy just, like, was like, ugh, like, hulked over to the Lego table. And, like, this little girl had this, like, beautiful, like, 4-foot tall arrangement. She had, like, bow in her hair. She's all, like, mermaid Barbied out. And Remy's like, like I couldn't even catch him before he did it and he like knocked half of it over. She loses her damn mind. I'm so sorry. Of course the mom's like in the corner.
that girl's learning
The
the way
mom's
of the
like,
world.
it's fine. The mom didn't care, luckily. And I was like, I'm so sorry. And so I'm trying to tell the little girl, like, he's learning boundaries. He's learning how to share. I'm so sorry. He didn't mean it. He doesn't know. And she just looked at me like a fucking idiot kid of yours, It was so funny. But anyway, it's just like funny the dynamic. So then he's like over by the crayons and he's trying to climb up on the bench at the picnic table. So I sit across from him. We're coloring. He just out of nowhere looks at me and just like plops like backwards off the bench. Like he was doing it intentionally or, I mean, again, he's going to learn. So he hits his head. I knew it was a bad hit because like it was the hit heard around the room. Like everyone turned, everyone heard, the hit of his head on the like wood. And I got him. He screams for like 5 seconds. Like he's pretty tough. He screams. I pick him up. I kiss him. He says bonk because I always say, did you bonk your head? He's like, bonk. And then like 30 minutes later, I feel such a big bump on his head. I'm like, oh gosh. Now I have to tell Fran. Yeah.
Oh, so you were about to hide it.
Never.
Unless the bump was evident.
for
Like,
sure.
There was no mark.
Oh, yeah. No mark didn't happen. Oh, yeah, absolutely. But I knew I had to tell.
Up the camera.
Shut up. So Fran surprises us. Like he just walks in, to the museum and yeah, you're such a good dad, but I told you immediately and you're like,
Yeah, well, he had like a head on top of his head.
you're like, no, whatever. He like takes him from my arms, takes him to Sprouts, buys arnica. It's fine. It's just, this is the thing, right? Like little kids are just, it's scary. And I just know it. Like everyone says that about little boys too. And I've had so many moms go, boys, I mean, what a mess. I'm in the ER all the time. And I'm like, no, I mean, as much as I joke around that
They
I'm
should
tough.
Take that kid off of her.
Stop it, Fran. Stop it.
Bring the kid over here. Maybe we'll adopt him. She's cute.
So you've had an ER visit on your watch.
Yeah. Well,
Accidents happen. One.
I just want to knock on wood.
Yeah, exactly. Next week I'm gonna be like, so
No, stop,
Fran's
stop,
2 for
stop,
0.
stop,
Yeah,
stop.
2-0. I think this is just like the deal though, right? Like this is why my mentality though, to justify my joking around about fucking around and finding out, like it's not at a dangerous level, but there is an element that I do feel like he's going to learn, you know, if he runs too fast, he's probably going to fall. Like he'll just start running and then he just like does a full like owl. You know how owls like turn their head on the way? Like he'll just look all the way to the right and of course, and then he falls. Like obviously, you know, but I think he has to learn that like
I think that's absolutely right. And I was talking about that with my sister the other day.
As we're talking to his sister, by the way, her son, who is almost 3, is in the background on top of a baby house, in the house, on the roof,
but it's
behind
not
her.
It's a
and
big
Fran,
ass house.
Yeah. I mean, not a baby house, but you know what I mean.
5 foot
Like
tall.
like a playhouse. He is on the roof of the playhouse, and Fran is horrified. And I'm like, yes, because this is what kids do.
Yeah, but that kid has already bunked all his smarts out, you know?
That's not true. He's bonked all his smarts out. You fell off of you've told the audience this, right? You fell off a 2-story balcony. You would not consider your mom a bad mom.
I don't know. Like now that I know the full story, I didn't know the full story. Now I think she's a bad mom. She was there. She said that she tried to grab my feet before I fall. Mm-hmm. And then she couldn't, and I free fall.
Yeah.
From the railing,
and I'm sure it was the second worst moment of your mom's life. I'm sure it was one of the worst moments of her life. I cannot even imagine what she went through.
I'm pretty sure she has had a cold, but I don't know. Now I think she's a bad mom. I don't know.
You're just insane on another level.
So I was talking to my sister, and I'm just kidding out. My mom is the most amazing mom that I could have. And I was talking to my sister, and it's like, I'm so nervous because he's opening and closing doors. And he does it so rapidly that if he gets a finger caught, he's going to break it. And I want to have like a safe, like finger pinch. You know, I want him to pinch his finger safely. I want it to hurt, but safely.
Oh, I mean, I remember it so vividly, getting my finger slammed in the back of a door, like at a slumber party where everyone was slamming doors, and it was a bad one, really bad. And I slammed my fingers in a car door once, and I remember those incidents, and I was older, but it's Remy slamming doors. Doesn't it bring you back when Fran and I first moved into the neighborhood and bought the house last fall? One of the neighbors was having like a kid-friendly, because everything is now around where we live, but a kid-friendly kind of Halloween party, right? And so the kids were in costumes, and we went over there. And most of the kids that were there, though, were 5. And so we, Remy was so little at the time, 6 months old or something, 7 months old. So all the kids were 5, and the parents were joking, like, are y'all looking into your future? And Fran and it was a lot to digest because, I mean, the adults were all really nice, but all I kept hearing was like, stop slamming the door. Stop slamming the door. And these kids are just barreling through the house, running, and you would hear doors slam and giggles. And now it's like, oh my gosh, yes, it's every parent's biggest fear for a while, like the door slamming. Why do they love to slam doors? And like, how dangerous if some kid's hand's in the door?
Like by a month from now, all our doors are going to have those soft closing that they have like in stores, you know? Like you cannot shut it. It just softly, slowly shuts.
Yeah, I mean, I've given in. Whatever childproofing you want to do.
Oh, he'll be like wrapped up in bubble wrap.
And how does that prepare him for a real world experience?
Well, the thing is that
there's no bubble wrap out here, man. It's hard.
Little by little.
There's hard edges in this world.
You don't want him to be jaded. And like by the time he's 20, he's like with a knife and a like.
This world's so dangerous. You can't even honk at someone. You can't even look at someone in a bad way. Like this morning, I was so annoyed. I get so annoyed at drivers like you, by the way. I'm the opposite. The driver that knows the lane is closed, that's going to go all the way down and then try and cut someone off instead of just like getting over and waiting in the line. And that truck, there was a truck that did that to me this morning. I was so annoyed. I'd already let 2 cars over. I'm not going to let this damn truck over who was like speeding and trying to cut me off. So I didn't let them over. And then it like dawned on me. I'm like, oh my God, that type of driver is also the type of driver to have like horrible road rage. I think 2 people in DFW in the last like
have been shot
out of like
in 2 days.
Yeah, I know. They don't think it's like serial.
I don't think that guy is
road rager, right? That it's like
It's just
different situations.
crazy,
I don't
like-
know enough about that, but yeah, it's really it just shows people are very angry and people are very upset. It's so scary.
And like Billboard said one day, you think about it, but you don't fucking do it. Like you don't pull the gun.
Yeah, you think yeah.
You just
my
don't
God.
fucking do it. Like you don't pull a gun and start shooting at people. Like
I don't know what's going on with people. I know it's
Anger.
actually really
people
scary.
are very angry.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, it's just it's troubling. Like you can't even drive to work and feel safe.
Like jumping completely out of subjects, but talking about anger, like you know that one of the main reasons to go back, my sister is moving from Mexico City because of that. Because his
Wait.
kids said,
I didn't know. What do you mean? You're telling me this for the first time right now when I've
Yeah.
asked you? I need to take a breath, everyone. Hold on. We need to pull back the curtain so everyone understands where my heavy breathing is coming in. So Fran has
"Where's this heavy breathing coming in?"
because like you're giving me the juicy facts that I wanted days ago, and now all of a sudden you're revealing
Well,
them.
you give me shit. I don't have content, so I try to hold on to my shit. I withheld my shit.
Yeah, but you need to start from the beginning. So everyone listening, so we're all here listening together. So Francisco was speaking with his mom the other day, and he's great, like calling with Remy. We FaceTime with them. We try to at least a couple times a week. And I guess in Spanish, I didn't really know, but Fran got off the phone and said that his mom had said to him, "Have you talked to your sister?" And he's like, "No, why? Is she okay?" Because y'all are on a family WhatsApp chat, but you're not getting into nitty gritty stuff, I'm sure. But anyway, his mom was like, "Yeah, she has some things to tell you," which I think is super cool of your mom. Instead of just like telling you the scoop, did you hear what Lily's doing? It's like, no, call her. So I'm like, call. Of course, I'm like, call her. What's going on? I want to know. I hope everything's okay. So you call her, and it's Spanish, 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 and I understand like 1 out of 20 words. And so I, obviously at that level, I didn't understand what you were talking about, but you get off the phone and you looked kind of upset because she told you what?
So she tells me that they're thinking of moving, and
They live in Mexico City, by the way. They live in a suburb, like walking distance from where his parents live, and she has 3 children, all quite young.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a shock because she's talking about moving far.
So she's thinking of moving in a place that is like 5-hour driving.
That's crazy, yeah.
Or an hour closer to any airport. So it's still far. But one of the reasons that she is thinking of moving is because her teenage kids have said that everybody, they feel that everybody's very unhappy in Mexico City.
Wow.
That there is a lot of anger, that they need to live in a place where they feel more harmony. And those are very sensitive kids, I think.
These are things that I would have loved to know because I'm like, of course, y'all know how I am. It's like pulling teeth sometimes with your partner when you're like, why? Is everyone okay? And he's like, yeah, I think she just like, wants to live in a smaller town. Okay. Are the kids okay? Yeah, I think it's just, you can move to a smaller town in Mexico and like your money goes a lot farther. And I'm like, yeah, because to move away from your own mother who helps you with your kids all the time, I mean, that's a big move, 5 hours. And so Fran's like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, that seems about it. And then now here he is dropping the real bomb that these kids are like feeling
we talked
endangered.
yesterday. We had a conversation, a little linked here.
No, I'm glad you're sharing this with everyone now.
Yeah. So, but it's mainly is that rage that people have. Like people are angry.
And they think that that's going to go away in a smaller town.
They have experienced this town.
Yeah. They have some extended family there.
It's just a slower pace of life.
Yeah.
People are more in the mentality of working to live, not live to work kind of deal.
We should do a whole episode kind of dedicated towards really if you're thinking about moving abroad for this reason, because I do get a lot of you reaching out to me asking about it. It's something that Fran and I don't think we've really made a secret of, that like our plan is to move to Spain, hopefully in a few years. We're trying to kind of figure out how to make that work. Obviously, both having businesses here, it's a process to figure out how to achieve that. But, in my limited spare time, I do a lot of reading about it and reading or looking up stories from people. There's obviously like a lot of great TikTok accounts like American Mom in Spain and like kind of how she moved her family there and why and the pros and the cons, kind of really thinking through it. And I think the the slowness is a pro and a con. You know, I think if you think you just got to rank your priorities, right? If the most important thing to you is like your kids' safety and kind of quality of life in that way, and slowing down, and yeah, I mean, I guess it really just does. It comes down to safety. It just comes down to, you know, the European mentality. I think the reason it's so attractive, it's not that I hate America by any means. It's just that the more America becomes the way that it's becoming, that is more attractive, because you read about kind of culturally, kids are very, as a parent too, by the way, let me add that. I think that's what's super important, right? I don't think you and I would be, maybe, you know, but I don't know if we would be like tomorrow, like we want to move now if we hadn't become parents, you know, yet. But the way kids are treated over in Europe, it's just so different, right? Like they are just so accepted everywhere that it's not, you know, you don't feel this division of like, oh my God, I got to go to a child-friendly restaurant. I got to go find child activities. Like there, everything is very accepting of that. I mean, that's at least with all the research I've done and our experience, you know, that everyone says. I would say the drawbacks seem kind of minimal. I've read a lot of, like my mom bought me a lot of books on this too, like kind of expatriate life. Oh yeah, Candy's coming with us. Don't worry. She's like ready. She's like, let me know when. I'll go tomorrow. But but a lot of I guess I would say like the biggest cons that people have listed, aside from wishing that they had learned more of the language to the country they're moving to, because I think to feel as a tourist, you're fine, but it'd be the same if I lived in Mexico City. Like, sure, you know, I can get by because ignorant Americans, almost everywhere else in the world, is adapted to speak English for us, you know. But in order to really integrate and like be friends with your kids' friends, parents sort of thing, and hang out, you really do need to start to learn the language, you know? And so I would say that's been kind of the number one thing I've read, that people regret not either learning Spanish or learning Italian before they move, at least, you know, a passable amount. The other thing they say is you kind of realize how fast-paced America is when you are somewhere else. Because, you know, when you're on vacation in Europe or somewhere like that, you don't care that much about the speed of service always. I mean, maybe you've noticed it, but like it tends to be very slow. Like people are not in a hurry to do anything. So they say, you know, it takes a while to adjust to that sort of life of like, yeah, it could take you like a whole day to do an errand, which is perfect for Candy, you know, because that's kind of the rate she's at over here.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, like you'll call someone to fix something and they're like, yeah, I'll be over tomorrow. And then they just like don't come over. And so, you know, that's kind of and I see that really consistently as a complaint, because I think as Americans, we're quite spoiled. You know, we're like, oh my God, a tree is falling down in our yard. Someone comes over in an hour, you know, to fix it. And over there, it's just not quite the same. But then you say, is the convenience at that level, like the Uber Eats and you know what I mean?
That you feel like you're moving like to middle of Africa. Like Europe, it's it's first world country.
I'm not talking about my opinion. I'm saying like everything I read from other people is that it's not quite the level of convenience that we're accustomed to. But I'm not saying that as a negative.
They have Amazon Prime.
I'm saying that in a way that's like, if the biggest issue is slowing down, isn't that kind of what you're looking for when it comes to raising your kid? Like you do want to be at a slower pace. You want to enjoy the time. And so I'm just giving everyone some of the feedback that I've gotten from people that have made the move, and the stuff I watch on the internet about Americans' kind of issues living there. You know, they say the kids are kept a lot cleaner, which is funny. Cleaner in the way that like you don't hear, you're like, oh, they're messy. Like they get food all over themselves, like for whatever reason, like they like to like match their kids more and have them cleaner, which that sounds like a lot of pressure. Yet birthday parties are not like that. Like birthday parties aren't what we do here, where like everything has to be perfect.
Is this something you read out of a Cosmo, or
I'm finding you to actually be like super condescending with my stats today. Do y'all hear what I deal with? This is where it starts to piss me off, because like the first time it's a joke, but then like I've actually been doing research for our family, and then you're being so mansplaining, like, oh, are you reading this in Cosmo? Oh, did your mom post that on Facebook? You're being super chauvinistic and condescending, and I don't like it. And now it's time for a commercial break. You're lucky we have to take a break and hear from our sponsors, some of which you could probably use in your life. Perfect timing, because Fitish is sponsored by BetterHelp. I think this is just such a great service. Francisco and I have utilized it, even if it doesn't always sound like it, okay? We have much better communication than we used to. And I really only have BetterHelp and therapy to thank for that. the hardest part I have found personally with therapy and talking with friends about therapy, even when Francisco and I, before we knew about BetterHelp and we had to find a therapist, you're trying to find one, you're trying to get on their schedule, you have to drive in, you have like very heated conversations sometimes, and then you're in the car driving home together. The whole experience can be kind of rough, and BetterHelp just takes all of those issues out of the equation. You know, you're going to fill out a short quiz online. They're going to help match you with a therapist to fit your needs, usually in under 48 hours. It's that easy. And then Fran and I can do therapy sessions from our laptop, from different places, in the middle of the workday. There's zero inconvenience. If you don't feel like turning your camera on, you don't even have to do that. There's really no excuse to not seek therapy, especially if you've been going through kind of a hard time. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out that brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist. And remember, you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Find more balance with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Fitish today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Fitish. Let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. The TikTok algorithm is so amazing because lately I've been seeing all of these people talking about not just prebiotics, but there's prebiotic, postbiotics. And I'm like, yes, I do know this because of my Ritual Symbiotic Plus. It was the first time I ever learned that there's so much more out there than just a prebiotic. The 3-in-1 clinically studied prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic, which is Ritual Symbiotic Plus, is designed to help support a balanced gut microbiome. This is so great, by the way, if you've ever had stomach issues, which, by the way, I did for years because I just didn't know that I was supposed to be taking some sort of prebiotic until you talk to friends and they're like, yeah, you don't take a prebiotic. I was like, oh, sorry. Okay. I'm late to the game. But Ritual's amazing. They make it so easy. I already, am like an avid fan of Ritual's prenatal, postnatal, and their women's daily multivitamin anyway. It was really the only one that I found worked, felt good, and tasted good. And I know that's such a small thing, but for someone like me who hates to take supplements in general, like I'm lucky if I even remember to do it sometimes, when you take them and they taste terrible, it's really hard. I don't know. I just don't like it. And Ritual has just mastered the craft of this because they're all coated. They taste so delicious from, minty to lemon. I really, really like it. But this prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic is just super important to give you some relief of the, occasional digestive discomfort like bloating, gas, and diarrhea. And it's especially handy if you travel. Symbiotic Plus and Ritual are here to celebrate, not hide your insides. It's time to listen to your gut, and Ritual's offering our Fitish listeners 20% off during your first month. Go to ritual.com/Fitish to start Ritual or just add Symbiotic Plus to your subscription today. What else do you have to contribute to the show today?
I have other thing to contribute. I have to keep like all this a little cleaner because I realized that people in my office hear the podcast, listen to the podcast, and actually they did a press release yesterday, and they put my bio, and in the dots on the bottom of the bio, it's this co-host of the Fitish podcast. And you know how people like lawyers go to like improv comedy at night, and it's like their secret life, like nobody knows about that.
You think there's a lot of practicing lawyers that go do improv in 100 the evening?
Like there's people that are like weird like that, like they have like quirks.
Did you read that in Men's Health?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, actually I did. So chauvinistic. But like this is my improv comedy, like
Wait, so what do you mean you have to keep it cleaner? Go back to that. I want to hear the stuff you have to share. What do you mean you're keeping it cleaner? That's lame, that's boring, that's not who we are here. Stay true to our identity.
Okay. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Let's keep this a little more amicus. Let's make seem to people that we have an amazing relationship like we do have.
What do you mean? We do, but what's going on with you right now? You're winking at me like you're seizing. You're being weird. Like, just be normal. Talk your shit. What's happening?
Well, that's exactly what I want to become. Normal, I guess. I want to talk normal.
See, this is the mindfuck about like being on the radio, because when I used to tell stories all the years I was on the show, especially, dating stories and things like that, it's a hard line to walk because you can't get into your own head. If you start going, if you start thinking about a particular individual that's listening to this right now, with all the things we discuss, right? It can be really hard to be totally vulnerable and share everything that is the most relatable. Think about how many things we happen, but how many things we have happen in our lives, but we definitely have these conversations. Like, do you think they listen to the podcast? Do you think this person listens to the podcast? But I think it's a slippery slope because you just have to say either yes, everyone you think might does, or no one does. And I prefer to just think no one does because it allows me to remain as uncensored as possible and just, without being offensive to someone. You got to be delicate sometimes and change stories, but that was always so tricky in the morning, like getting up at 4 a.m., being sleep deprived, wanting to tell a really juicy story about like the worst date I ever had, but fully knowing that person was probably listening. So I'd have to kind of bank it for a later date and talk about it. And that's really tricky because sometimes it's like the juiciest stuff that the audience would love and relate to, and that's what makes people love you, is because you're like sharing things that are crazy. So I guess you're leading us into you're not going to share anything about The Office.
Kidding. It was just very funny that people like, oh my god, there's no need to listen to it. It's like, it's cool and all.
Oh, so you're just now telling people to not listen. So you're getting us less listeners.
So I know by doing that, they're going to listen now. So I'm actually doing the reverse psychology type of deal. But yes, like there's episodes that I think they're amazing. There's some episodes that I think we could have done better,
Why do you have to, you're a salesperson. This is your sales pitch? Like what? This is how you're pitching people on our show? Yeah, I mean, look, we're not winning podcast awards here by any means. No one's thinking that, but I don't think that that's the impression we're trying to give. This is just supposed to be kind of a relatable parenting and life and business and so you don't want to fight. You want to act like we have a perfect relationship.
100%, babe.
How? I don't know how to act like that.
Just like a relationship is. Like always amazing, always laughing, always, oh my God, dishes are dirty. It doesn't matter. I'll get them. Shit like that.
This is where I want to insert the TikTok audio. Like, who are you talking to right now? Who are you? Have you seen those TikToks? I think they're so amazing, and I'm too late to the party, but it's like, the woman is at home with the kids, like looking a hot mess. And, the copy over it's like, my husband, when he asks me if I'm cheating on him when he's at work, and she's just like a mess, like breastfeeding, like one boob's leaking, like her hair's in a bun, the kitchen's a mess, the kid's crying, and an audio's like, who are you talking to right now? I love it.
Well, that's my.
So if y'all have relationship issues, don't come here. We can't help you. I don't know anything about that.
Oh, we could help you on sometimes what to do and most of the times what not to do.
Okay, well, now I have to check off all the questions that were submitted because I just don't think you're going to like them since we're trying to put on an image of perfection. Can you make a montage of Fran saying 100%? Is that your crutch?
I think so.
100%. Can you say it for everyone?
100%.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I would love to make a montage, but we don't have, but beyond the minimal editing, that takes a lot of work going back through all the shows and finding it. I guess I could task someone with that.
Yes, I think you have like an army or sorority over there.
I do. A sorority army.
Yeah.
Yeah, how amazing. Isn't it great? You walk in and there's all these girls. We're about to lose them all. It's been so nice. Summer goes by so quickly when you're an adult.
No, summer goes by quicker when you're a kid.
Yeah, I guess so. You're right. Yeah, until you have kids that you're taking care of all summer. I don't know. I just have found that it's gone by fast. I mean, I'm not really in that boat yet with activities in the summer, but yeah, we have 3 interns that we hired for the summer, and they've been awesome. But I think like next week or the following week's their last week. I'm going to take them all to Barbie.
Oh, nice.
We're doing a double feature. No surprise. Barbie. Which we're kind of doing it in the reverse way, but it's fine. We're going to see Barbie around lunchtime as a outing for the Fitish girls. And then, for instance, do you know about this?
No.
And then I found us Oppenheimer and 70 millimeter. So then, are you going? I'm telling you this for the first time now. Then Fran and I are going to go see Oppenheimer So I'm about to spend a full day in the movie
This
theater.
coming Friday?
Well, when it comes out, which would be the next Friday.
Oh, good.
Oh, you're busy. You got
Well, I
stuff.
just need to check my schedule,
Really? What might you have going on?
On a Friday afternoon, evening? Oh, I have to check with Remy also.
Friday afternoon, evening. I have childcare. Baby, I'm on my shit.
No. Stuff that we have already planned,
You and Remy.
Yeah.
For 2 Fridays from now. Yeah. No, it's next Friday. They come out. Well, technically,
We're
the movies
good.
come out next Thursday night, I guess. But yeah, Friday. Yeah, I'm excited.
To be sitting in the movies, not doing anything for like 4 hours in a row.
It's probably going to look more like 5 and a
That
half.
sounds like I haven't sit without doing anything for that long.
Does it sound good?
Sounds
Do
amazing.
you want to see Barbie too?
I might, or like, yes.
I'm not as excited about Barbie as everyone is, but since it's like a thing and I'd like to just do both in one day, so I see both. I mean, I love, like, Margot Robbie's just amazing. I love the idea of Barbie, but I'm like way, way more excited to see Oppenheimer, which I know might not be the most popular opinion out of the two, but I'm like way, way more excited to see
Well,
that
the
movie.
cinematography that you're gonna have with Oppenheimer is gonna be unbelievable.
and 70 millimeter, which is not
Yes.
showing, which is not in every theater. You don't even know about this, the nerd side of it.
No, I know you geeked out on all this. Like you want us to go through like the other movie theaters that are not as popular.
Look at you all PC saving yourself, because everyone knows exactly what you almost just said, and our producer's cracking up. Look at you censoring yourself on the fly.
You see? I added a little filter. It's been working.
I think it's okay to admit that the movie theater experience really has fallen in general. We went to a theater we had never been to see, what did we go see? The Boogeyman not long ago?
Horrible movie.
PG-13. I know. PG-13. Let's just start with that. I didn't check the rating. And just, yes, I'm not into PG-13 horror. Not since I was 4.
No, your mom started taking you to R-rated movies since you were like 4.5.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, not totally true. But yes, before I could get in by myself, they would have to go with me or buy me tickets. Yeah. Yeah. I was just a little psycho. I just wanted to be scared. I loved it.
Yeah, I see it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I loved horror movies. And so there were some good ones too when I was growing up. Yeah, I actually like such a fond memory. My mom, I was in 6th grade, I believe, and my mom said, I might have been in 5th grade. I don't remember that. So great memory it was. No, I was always asking her to see scary movies, and I read all these Stephen King books all the time. And she was like, fine, I'm going to take you to see a really scary movie that was coming out. It was with Kathy Bates and James Caan, and it was called Misery. And she was like, I'm going to take you to see Misery, and it looks super scary. And I guess her thinking was, I had seen some PG horror, witch movies and things like that. And maybe like a Pet Cemetery. I remember watching Pet Cemetery really young, and that's pretty fucked up. But yeah, anyway, so she took me, and I guess her thought was it's going to be really scary. And then she's like, not going to want to see scary movies again because it's like really going to scare her.
And it just spoke your curiosity.
I remember like getting lemon heads, sitting there watching it. And the movie's it is a scary movie. I don't know if you've ever seen Misery. It's really good
Misery, yes.
with Kathy Bates. And he's a famous writer, and she's like a super fan, obsessed with him, and like ends up getting him trapped in her house, snowed in for like a very long time. And she like breaks his feet with sledgehammers. Like it's crazy. Like she's crazy. She's an amazing, crazy person. But anyway, I don't have to give you the full rundown of Misery. But my mom said I just like sat there and watched it the whole time. I didn't even eat my lemon heads. And then of course at the end of the movie, I turned to her and I was like, she was like, what'd you think? Are you okay? And I was like, I loved it.
I want to see more.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I want a sledgehammer for Christmas.
I mean, I'm sure my parents had a moment when my dad would walk in and I'm like reading Stephen King's The Shining when I was first able to read. He had all those Stephen King books. I'm sure they were kind of like, is she going to be okay? You think they talked about that at night? Like, is she going to be all right? Is she okay? I turned out just fine. Relatively. I mean, I never have felt any kind of psychotic behavior or anything like that. Like anything real serious. I just think I like, how some people like skydiving and that level of adrenaline. I like the scary because it like gives you the same sort of adrenaline rush, you know?
No, for sure.
Well, I used to like it more than now living in a house alone that we have only, I don't know, 35 different sliding glass doors. Oh, we don't have that many. That makes us sound super rich. But we have like a lot of windows and a lot of sliding glass doors in the house. And oh my gosh, at night it just sucks like when you're out of town because I just like traipse around the house, like making sure they're all locked. Like there's just living in a house with like too many. I love the exits because I think about this is where my mind goes from all the scary. I do think about how many exits there are if I were in danger. Remy is kind of getting in the way, you know, because I have to like obviously think about him and then get trapped in his room, you know. But he has a bunch of exits or, you know, in and out of his
Just the
room.
most exits.
Yeah, I think about that a lot. I'm like, it's a good thing and a bad thing, but yeah, it's scary at night. We have so many doors. It's very Scream-esque.
Yeah.
Anyway, a few more questions before we wrap up today's excellent podcast. Thank you to all the new listeners who tuned in
Nice.
to listen to
We
Fran.
have new listeners.
You seem off today. You seem nervous. Who's listening? You have a new girlfriend? What's happening? Who's listening to the
Oh
show?
no, she's been listening for a while.
Fucking dick. You're making our relationship sound so perfect. Goals achieved. What are y'all's goals for the last half of the year? Business and personal. I mean, personally, our relationship could be more
Last part of the
perfect.
year sounds so like nerve-wracking.
Oh my gosh, Halloween's almost here. Fall and holiday.
It's like the year goes like
I
water.
have
between
waited
your
like my
hands.
whole life to have my own house. This is like the first time because we moved in mid-October. So I didn't even get to do it for enough time last year. I'm going to bring that Michael Myers out. Is September too early? Yeah, I got to wait till October 1st. October 1st, he's coming out, pranking everyone for a whole month. So delicious. I love it. I can't wait. And decorating for fall and stuff. You know, living in an apartment in a townhome for so long, I just never really decorated. So now I have an opportunity to decorate a little bit more. What are your goals?
So, a lot of goals.
Okay, why don't you just give us like one to two?
Hold on. Give us another hour. We're going to be sitting here for a minute. So, goal number 1 is Remy, family.
What is the goal?
The goal is to keep helping his growth, find a good place for him, like to school.
Yeah.
Goal number 2 is keep growing my career. Focus in Mexico right now, focus in the international, just because that is going to be the exit strategy.
Sure. I think that's what Fran and I talk a lot about is what's an exit. If you really do want to move abroad, you have to put a lot of things into place. And it's like, what is the exit strategy for that? Because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, you could do your business from anywhere, but that's not true. I am so hands-on day to day, you know, that I'd have to figure out a way to do that and grow internationally. So growing our businesses internationally would give us an excuse to move.
While not neglecting my business in Dallas, because I love my business in Dallas. I love my clients in Dallas.
We have to come back a lot.
So we're working very hard on those. So those are my immediate goals.
So mine are, to be a little more specific, I suppose, with family. And joking about holiday, I think I want to start focusing on some more like family traditions. Family's just become more and more important to me as time has gone on because I didn't grow up with like a ton of family. You know, my dad's remarried and I'm not going to lie and say like we're super close. We're just not, unfortunately. And so, you know, I've wanted more traditions of little traditions. Like I want to do, oh, they're going to think I'm so crazy. I don't even want to reveal this. You're being such a charmer today. Thank you. Doll in the Hall, which is the fucked up Halloween version of Elf on the Shelf. Do you know about this?
I don't.
So it's like a scary doll that you move around the house and you have your child
Just
find.
to fuck for your kid.
Yeah.
With your kid.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. I mean, he might be a little young still, but you know, we should get started on
The
it.
thing is that Remy doesn't strike me as someone that will get.
He
Scared.
loves skeletons. We take him into the at-home store the other day. They're starting to put Halloween decorations out. He stands and stares at the skeleton, and he loves. I have a skeleton decor. He is my child and I love it. I have a 3-head like skeleton thing that lights up. So when you walk in front of it, it goes, I see you. Ah, ha, ah, ah, oh, 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 oh. And Remy makes that noise. Like he just loves it. He'll sit in front of it. And so sometimes he'll look at me and I'll be like, I see you. And he knows. And he starts going, ah, 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 ah. I'm just so tickled with his. I think he's going to be
Halloween
into his
spirit.
I think so. We play Boo around the house. Like I hide and scare him and he just loves it. So I'm really excited. I got to condition him well. I know I get a lot of hate for making him baby Hannibal Lecter. Like I didn't even have blood in that one. Okay. Like I didn't even have fake blood on him. And some of y'all gave me shit.
Brains.
He wasn't even eating anything. Yeah. So no, anyway, so goals. Yeah, I want to just be a little more mommy in that way, you know, a little more tradition, whether it's, especially as he gets older, you know, just starting some things that I can hopefully like replicate every year and kind of start building on that. Because I just don't really have any traditions in general. And I would really, after doing a little 4th of July theme, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I want to do that. So that would be goals. Fran has a very big birthday this year. So I'm kind of working on what we can do for that. I've been thinking about that. So it's a goal. I'd like you to have a really nice birthday this year. What?
No, it's like I'm not worried about it. I think it's going to be amazing.
My goals.
With you.
My goals.
Okay.
Not yours. My goals. I want to do something cool for you for your birthday. I got to figure that out though, because it's going to be here before you know it.
I know.
And professionally, y'all, I don't know. I've mentioned, I was on someone else's podcast recently, actually, and I mentioned I had overheard someone that I follow on social media that does a lot of, you know, these people that are so good at like just talking about their thoughts about business and they just kind of help businesses scale and stuff. And they made this concept of like how mastering the middle is the most difficult part of running a business. And I never thought about it. And I'm like, that's brilliant. Cause it's like when you start a business, you're so amped and motivated and it's so exciting. And when you, you know, and then when you go to sell a business or something like that, I mean, that's obviously exciting. So there's some like really high highs and low lows when you run your own business. And I've kind of been in this place lately of kind of struggling to figure out like what that next step is. Like, how do you get your business? You know, we do very well. I'm very fortunate, but then you always want more, right? Like, how do you get it to the next level? How do I get the product into more people's hands? How do I get more people to experience it? We have such a great customer base, but how do you double that? You know, some businesses you have luck by going viral. And I mean, it takes a lot of going viral to do really well because we've had moments of it, but you know, it's difficult. So yeah, so we have some things planned, you know, I'm thinking about some, you know, hopefully some other kinds of exposure we could get and some international distribution. So yeah, for me, I guess the goal is just trying to master the middle of all of this, of what I'm doing. So I think growing has been really hard and I've been in kind of a rut of trying to figure out how to grow more. So I think every day it's always just make effort, right? Like every day it's just try new things, do different things. You got to just keep trucking along even when things don't pan out.
Correct. I think you're doing amazing. By the way, you look amazing. Just want to say that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What?
And any other goal?
Not off the top of my head.
Cool.
I don't have any like fitness or wellness goals. I mean, I'm interested to get my blood work back. I wanna add. I'm actually glad you asked me. You probed more because I make TikToks. I don't know if you know.
Yeah.
What was that? This is why your compliments are just so wasted because you're like beating me up for 45 minutes and then you're like, you look beautiful. And then I'm like, have you seen my TikToks? What is happening? Babe, you're doing a terrible job of acting like we have a perfect relationship. Your true colors are coming out.
The thing is that I've seen your TikToks and I love them.
But?
There's no but.
No, I'm not like great on there. I'm just saying that I'm referencing for those that follow my TikTok. I'm giving some context.
Like, so I'm in bed going through TikTok.
Here we go.
And I see one that I see that it's going to be 5 minutes. And I try to swipe as fast. You know, I'm saving it. I put a saving.
Swipe over my TikToks without even watching them. This is the stage of the relationship.
Like, you're not gonna watch my TikTok. It seems like it's like something more like a getting ready stuff. I like the funny ones, and the ones that are tutorials are amazing. Very well done. Very well done. You look so beautiful. You look so sexy. I've learned how to put hydrophonic acid.
I think it's very clear that I have just a supremely supportive partner who supports everything that I do, all the content I try to create. You're that
100%.
person that's like doesn't ever post a TikTok, but then is like judgy against the other TikToks, you know?
I'm not judging. I think you're doing an amazing job. I don't post TikToks because it's not an easy thing to do, and now I have to do
You're
it
right.
more
So
often.
why waste 5 minutes on someone else's effort?
No, it's not a waste. It's an investment. I want to be fully invested in it. I don't want to half-ass watch it.
Well, I was actually just gonna inform the people that do watch and support me. Okay, so you can just close your ears.
Close.
Kind of normal, yeah. I made a TikTok kind of referencing some of my postpartum struggles because I'm okay with my vitamins. I do love the ritual vitamins. It's more that I'm just like, I think that there's something sometimes beyond just like a daily vitamin when you've had a baby, like with hormones and stuff like that vitamins don't always tackle. And so I found out from this functional medicine place that I went that I didn't even know. And I went the other day, I was getting an IV and I was kind of telling them, yeah, I think I probably need to supplement some other things. And they said that when you go get blood work done, like your regular, and I'm just taking this from the nurse that was there. So I have not done full research on this, but I'm assuming this is kind of what functional medicine teaches is that when you go get standardized blood work done from your OB or wherever else, right? I got blood work done. Everything came back normal, registering on normal levels. Now, of course, when you look at that blood work, if you've ever looked at your panel, like it'll get flagged if it's below, but there's always a range in there, right? Like it could be low to high on a range that's considered average. And so I definitely had a handful of things on there, like mainly like a vitamin D. There were some other things that were like the digit that couldn't have been like one digit lower would have been flagged as like really low. And the nurse here at the functional place told me that what she learned when she started working there that is so crazy is that all of the regular blood work we get done, they're the standard that they're referencing to let you know, are you normal? It's kind of like with our kids, right? Like the panel when they tell your kids like in the 98th percentile, it's usually all the kids in a certain age range in this last year that they're testing against, But with blood work, they say it's like with sick people, like that's what it's being compared to is like sick people blood work, like people that are sick, that have issues, that are critically low on these things. And so she said functional will actually like really dig into all of that blood work. And they test like, instead of just your thyroid, all sorts of other hormone panels to like really get in and see, yeah, you may not be critically low, but if you're just low on a bunch of things, even in what's deemed like a normal range, you could still feel really off. So anyway, that's my medical lesson of the day. And I don't even know if that's 100% true, but I'm taking their word for it for now. And I'll let you know when I find out.
To rectify anything that
just my energy level, babe. Like I have been real tired lately and I don't like it. Like almost a mono level of tired, not all day, every day. And the workout yesterday helped. But yeah, and I know everyone just laughs like, yeah, welcome to parenthood. It's like, yeah, I get that, but it's not quite that sleep deprivation of tired. It's like I get a good night's sleep and I still feel kind of run down, So yeah, I just want to stay on top of it, especially as we get older. I mean, is this what being older
that's
is?
one of my goals as well.
Yeah. I have never really gotten into that sort of science. I do other things. I work out, I eat healthy-ish. Sometimes, usually, I try to be good with my supplements, but I think that I could fine tune some things, hopefully, to feel better. So yeah, that would be my physical goal, personal.
I think my physical goal is just to stay healthy for my kid, stay young, to be able to last as long as I can.
Well, I love that.
Yeah, cutting off on a lot of my vices,
like
sweets, like alcohol.
Yeah, Fran, I haven't really been having any sugar lately and not much alcohol. I'm going to drink, I think. Or I don't know. I'm just going to get maybe stoned. Am I allowed to say that with the new listeners before the movies? Because that's like part of the movie going experience. Yeah. You don't have to do anything. You can. I know you're very clean.
Oh, no, I'm going to get stoned as well. I'm going to join you on that.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I normally get it like that every night, but after I put him to sleep, that's
Helps
my
the
routine.
relationship, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, great. Well, I'm very excited. Let me know if you want to see Barbie with us, though.
Let me just check. I
Check
think
your
I can.
schedule.
I think I might be able.
You want to do
Sunday.
Barbie, take an hour break to eat, and then see Oppenheimer?
Yeah, that sounds actually like a great Friday.
I mean, it's a lot of theater time, but I think it could be cool.
Yeah, I think so.
The American theater going experience.
Yeah, I like it. No, I love the movies. I like back in the day. I used to go to the movies on lunch breaks, just by myself.
Really?
Yeah, I used to go to Angelica and watch the most independent.
I love the
movies.
art house theater movie by yourself experience. You
Yeah.
don't have people talking, asking questions, snacking. Like people
Yeah,
are more
that
polite.
was my experience. I used to like be very into indie, and I love to just go there, grab popcorn.
And that was pre-glasses.
No, I had glasses before that.
You did?
Yeah, no, I've been on and off with the glasses.
Yo, I have not seen, just so you all know, you have to tune in and watch on YouTube before we end the show today. But Fran was cleaning his glasses before the show. He got new glasses and he has not taken them off. He has sex in them and sleeps in them as well. So I don't really know what to make of it. It's like he's a different person. You've lost 25 pounds and you're wearing glasses.
Well, the thing is that I needed them. So I've been on and off, and I had contacts at some point, and it's been on and off. But lately, I've been having these awful headaches.
Yeah, because you're blind.
Because I'm
Yeah.
blind in one eye, pretty much. So that's why the other eye compensates a lot. And I'm like, I'm going to help you out, you know?
I like the glasses.
Yeah, you know, they're okay. Like, they get tiring. But it's better
Yeah,
than
I
a
mean,
headache.
you wear them like nonstop. I bet they hurt.
But you know what? I used to always audiobook. Now I'm starting to read more physical books because I can.
Who are you?
You know, I'm a dad.
Yeah. Can I get you some New Balances to match Remy's?
Yeah, if you get
Dad
me the New
jeans.
Balances with like these baggy looking jeans, high waisted,
Yes. You'll wear it?
and
Will
like
you?
a polo with stripes.
You'll wear it?
No,
Oh.
but
I
I'll
was
keep
excited.
them in my drawer
I wish you would.
for that day. You know, that day that I'll completely give up everything else besides daddy.
I love the dad jeans and the dad shoes. Okay, I'm gonna buy Fran some new dad clothes. I would never do that to you. I'll get you stylish.
Thank you, baby. Thanks to you and our perfect relationship.
Thank you for joining us today on the show, Francisco.
It's
It was
always
a
an
delight.
utmost pleasure.
Yeah. All right. We'll see y'all next week.